Hi, everyone. My name is Huzaifa Ali. This is Huzaifa's podcast today again. And today's guest is Andrew Frazier from New Jersey. And Andrew is an industry expert with helping the small business owners in growing and managing their businesses. And I think it's better to have Andrew give his brief introduction so we can go further in the questions. Hey, Andrew, how are you?
I'm great. Hey, Ali, thanks for having me on the show and excited to just get a chance to share a little bit about what can be helpful for your audience, business owners to be more successful. You know, really what I do over the last 12 years, I've worked full time, um, working with small business owners. I've worked with over 1,000 of them one-on-one and taught thousands of people about business. And
Amazing.
really with a focus on business strategy and financial management, because those are the key things that will allow you to move your business forward and be able to grow. So
Great.
that's really what we focus on.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Andrew, thank you for taking the time to speak today with me. And we are going to discuss, as per your experience, we are going to discuss more about leadership and how we can grow the small businesses. So our community, the community name is E-commerce Success Pakistan. And this community consists of about 163,000 people. There are several thousand students who are actually Amazon sellers, and they now offer services to the foreigners. I mean, out of Pakistan, for example, like people like you or
Mhm.
anybody across the other side of the globe, from UK, US, European regions. So the clients from these countries, they have their investment and they need the manpower to manage their e-commerce business. For example, selling on Amazon, for example, selling on Etsy or eBay. So we do train them, and the person who is a VA, the virtual assistant, his career starts from a virtual assistant to become an agency leader or owner, you can say. And with he builds the team, he gets more clients onboarded. But of course, there are challenges in his life and his business, managing the team, keeping the client onboarded. So I would like you to give some brief info or details about what do you think, like this journey from a single virtual assistant to having an agency of, let's say, 20 to 30 people in the team, and having like 10 plus clients from across the US or UK, from, maybe you can say. So how do you think this journey should begin, and how should it should be carried away or carried over further? Yes.
Okay, well, the first thing I would say is on a lot of levels, business is business. So those businesses would be just like many other types of businesses. And, not sure if you're familiar with Michael Gerber, but he wrote the book, The E-Myth Revisited. And, one of the things he talks about is going from working in your business to working on your business. And actually, in my book, I take it a step further to working on the future of your business. So, as a VA, it's sort of like you're working in your business. You are your business.
Mhm.
And that's great because that's where you have to start out to develop a business. But
Mhm.
over time, if you're going to grow and you're going to evolve, you have to move from working in your business to working on your business. And that takes some different skills than just working in your business. And because of that, many times less than 5% of business owners ever make it from working in their business to successfully working on their business. And you
Right.
probably see it with a lot of the VAs. They're, even though they're VA and they have a team, they're still working on the client projects as opposed to really working on their business full time and having the team work on all the projects.
Right.
But that's an important step if you're going to grow. And we could talk more about, what does it take to move to achieve that step. So, that's the first step, going from working in your business to working on your business. And then the next step is working on the future of your business. So, you're first developing a business, developing a market. Once you have a market and you're making sales, then you got to optimize your business so you can be more profitable, so you can have processes and procedures, and so you can bring people in and deliver consistent results. And then once you've done that, then you can really work on scaling your business and working on the future of your business, how to grow it. But if you try and scale it before you have your processes and procedures, then the problems you have are just going to multiply. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, is because the better you do, the more problems it creates, because you haven't really solved the problems before you grow. So that's sort of what we can spend some time talking about.
Right, sure. So the majority ask me, so for example, a VA, the first one, the person who is starting selling his services, spending let's say 10 to 12 hours a day. This is how much they spend per day, because they want to generate a better income for themselves, for their family. So what do you suggest, is it really the right approach to spend like 12 hours a day on a single client and building his business? Or you suggest a different, because I'm right now asking you, doesn't matter if I know something or no, I'm just asking you the exact question, the way I'm being asked by the VAs who have no idea about business. Let's say a person who has spent 10 or 15 years in a corporate job, full-time job. He has no idea about how to build a business. What do you suggest? How should this kind of person consider entering into the business, or how much time he should be spending, or what is a smart strategy?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're starting out in business, it's always going to take more time and more money than you expect. So you have to expect to work hard and really spend some time putting sweat equity, building your business. Definitely, you have clients that you want to have, but sometimes you end up with clients that you can have. So, the most important thing is to actually be working and be making money, because you're also learning while you're working early on. So, it's great if you could have one client that covers your full time, but then that puts some risk in there in terms of if you lose them. But, you'd probably make more money that way because you're working every hour. But, even if you spread it between other clients, you can get more experience on different things. So, there's a lot of different roads that can lead you to the right place, just as long as you're actually getting some clients and doing work, because that's what's going to get you better at what you do. And generally, you're going to get more work based on the work that you do. I'm sure you probably find that it's a lot easier to get more work from current clients or referrals of current clients than try and find a new client. So I'd say that's it's more important to get out there and do it than worry about what you're doing, especially initially, because you're going to learn and figure out your path.
So for a let's say an agency leader, agency leader who is a person who has like a team, maybe 5 people or more, 10 people, and handling like 3 to 5 clients as well, making some, let's say for himself, he's making about $2,000 to $3,000 a month, which is a big chunk of money in Pakistan, according to this currency stuff. So what do you suggest? I mean, what kind of plan, 5-year plan, for example? I mean, this agency leader, he wants to know, where do I see myself after 5 years doing this, what I'm doing right now? What do you suggest should be a 5-year plan for this kind of person?
Okay. Well, I mean, definitely having a good 5-year plan is important. to really be able to do it successfully, there's a few things that you have to do. Every level that you move, there's a certain challenge you have to overcome. There's a certain goal you have to have and achieve. There's a certain evolution you have to make as a business owner. There's a certain structure you need to have under you within the business so you can grow. And there's certain skills that you need to develop. So let's walk through sort of, you start out working in your business. So you're focused on basically marketing and selling and getting business opportunities. Once you start getting those, and then you have a viable market, a viable business, then you have to start working on your business, looking at, well, how can I improve it? Where can I do better? How can I set it up so that it's consistent? And then that'll allow you to bring in people, because you need people to grow. But if you don't have a system or a process to bring them in, it's very hard for them to be successful and to be effective in what you need. So, your first piece while you work in it is so you can learn and know how you want people to be. Once you have people, it's one thing, you start out more like a supervisor, where you have people, you're sort of guiding them and directing them on a daily and weekly basis, which is great. And that's needed.
Yes.
But for you to really move forward and work on your business, you have to have, you don't not only have to have employees, but you have to have a supervisor or supervisors who can guide them on a daily, weekly basis to make sure things are getting done so that you can focus on the future, focus on, how you improve what you're doing, getting more business, more clients. And each of those takes different skills. You have to be, when you're a supervisor, you have to be more focused on developing your people. But as a manager at the next level, you have to really be able to analyze and look at what's happening, right, and use what's happening to make improvements upon it. You have to measure things. And because you can't improve anything that you don't measure. So, right, that's a little bit of a different skill than many people have or have developed up to that point. And that's what can make it challenging. But if you don't do that, you'll never be able to really improve your business enough so that you can grow successfully. And yeah, and then once you've done that, then you're ready to scale. Then you can grow to any level, but you have to backfill. You brought up, you were the supervisor, you brought on a supervisor, you became a manager. You got to bring on a manager and develop them so that you can be more of an executive. And then the next step is you bring on an executive so that you could be more of like a global CEO and really take the business to the next level. But each one of those steps takes time. And a lot of the time is based on you and your ability to develop the skills that you need to move to the next level and develop your team so that you have the support under you to move to the next level. So, that's really a key piece of being able to do that.
Right. Thank you so much. So, there was another question I just forgot. So, okay. How to stay persistent? I mean, I see people get distracted a lot, especially here in this business, and they do seek other business opportunities. Sometimes it gets delayed in getting the first sale or getting the first supplier or getting the first product going live. So some people get distracted, majority actually get distracted because of this reason. What would you suggest them in order to stay persistent or focused to their targets or goals?
Okay, well, one key thing is, understanding nothing that you do is really going to be successful overnight. So
Great.
you have to have reasonable expectations. Um, the other thing is you have to be disciplined. You can't just do it one day and not do it another day or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent about what you're doing because um, consistency, people seeing you is key. One of the big things, is a challenge of marketing and selling, because really what they're doing in the beginning is marketing and selling to get um, their first clients. But one thing, there's a big difference between marketing and selling, and many people don't realize that and just assume that they're the same thing, but they're really two totally different things. And when you talk about marketing, it's really building a relationship with potential clients, potential suppliers. You're building relationships as a business person. Whereas selling is you're really closing the deal, or doing the contract or agreeing to work together. Now, the better relationship you have, the easier it is to work together with people, because when people work with people, why do you generally work with somebody? Like, if you're going to do business with someone, what makes you want to do business with them?
So I have
So,
another question along inside this actually. So
okay.
actually, you brought a very good point here. Marketing equals to, or marketing means building relationships.
Hmm.
So we do face this very serious challenge in this business. So, for example, I'm talking to you. I believe you understand my English pretty well, right? The way I'm speaking. So that's what I'm trying
Yes.
to say. So the majority of the sellers face this problem. Their accent and their English language is speaking fluency is not up to the mark, or not, probably you won't expect that kind of fluency or accent. Now they face serious problems in building relationships with the brands in the US or the UK, because we do need to work with the brands directly in order to sell their products on Amazon, right? So we always look for different brands from whom we can source, we can build relationships. But many brands um, don't allow them, the sellers, they don't approve their trade accounts to purchase or source directly from them. Majority is just they don't want to work with Amazon sellers, or they don't understand, or they don't like really the way English is being spoken. What do you suggest, according to, because you, of course, you are a national US national resident, so according to your expectations or experience, what do you think, how should we be communicating with the brands in order to build better relationships, keeping the issue we have, the challenge?
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, if someone's going to do business with you, there's three things that have to come together. Okay. One, they have to know you. Two, they have to like you. And three, they have to trust you. So your goal should be, how can I make sure they know me? How can I, encourage them to
Like
like
or
me?
trust?
And how can I encourage them to trust me? So, the first is knowing. You have to communicate with them. And generally, before someone does business with someone, they're going to have to experience them 7 to 12 times. So, or 7 to 12 touches. So that means if you reach out to someone once, it's very unlikely that they're ever going to do business with you. And a lot of times it's their 7th time experiencing you. And that may be reaching out, email, seeing something about you somewhere. But it takes, it's a process. It's not something that happens immediately. So
Right.
first, them knowing, just like, I get emails every day. But unless I've gotten like 3 or 4 from someone, I may not even know that I got any emails from them, just because, you're going through stuff. But if I see your name like 3 or 4 times, then I'm like, oh, okay, who is this? Because the consistency and, letting people know you is key. So being out where people can know you, reaching out to them, connecting with them multiple times so they can
Right.
know you, liking you. It's hard to like a thing, but you can like a person. So how can you be likable? There's different things. You can smile, you can just the way you communicate, and not everybody's always necessarily going to like you, but there's things that they can't like you if they don't know you. So think about how people can know you. One of the reasons why social media works real well is because it's a way that you can personalize and get to know people. So thinking about, how you might be able to do that. People might do business with you just because you like to fish, and they like to fish or whatever. So but if they don't know you like to do that, then so you have to become a person, not just, so, that's a key piece to being likable. And then trust, how do you build your trust? You build trust by being professional. You build trust by making follow-ups. You build trust through relationships. That's why it's a lot easier to do business with someone who you're referred to, because you already come in with a certain level of trust. And, I was talking before about you want to do business with as many people as you can and do a good job, because that's really what's going to lead you to success, because they're going to develop more trust in you, and they're going to impart that trust to other people who may work with you.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you. So yeah, I think you pointed it out well. To know you, to like you, and to trust you. So we do try pretty much all of these. Now the question is actually like we approach brand owners or the high profile key personnels on LinkedIn, and we contact them. We of course we build a communication first. We ask them we introduce ourselves, and then we give them some details about our business, and then we see how we can work together. We do offer them some additional free services like optimizing their listings, helping them with new packaging, photography, search engine optimization, and a lot of things. And all of these take our time, but we still do offer it for free, just to seek the goal is to have brand relationship. I mean, it works pretty much, but sometimes it doesn't. That's what I was trying to ask, and I agree to have the person know us first, and then of course we can discuss about how we can get liked or being trusted by them. So the other thing that I wanted to ask is we do face challenges with, for example, not being able to find products. I know it may be not your industry. It's probably something you may not have worked with. The morale, the person lose hope, but at the same time, we do have other business options. For example, doing drop shipping on Amazon, selling on Etsy. Do you really suggest somebody to consider other opportunities like immediately, or how much time should a person stay patient in order to get results?
Well, I'm a big believer in focus. Focusing on specifically what you want to accomplish, because the more things you try and do at the same time, the worse you're going to be at all of them. So, if you're trying to start two businesses at the same time, you're probably going to do both of those worse than what you would have done with a single business. And many times people are trying to start more than two businesses at the same time, because really every time you have a different target market, a different group of people you're trying to sell to, that's a whole different business, even if it's the same product. So, it's important to focus your efforts, as specifically as possible, towards the people who are most likely to buy from you. And, we talked before, you need 7 to 12 touches. So you need to dig in and focus on consistently towards that market, as opposed to going over somewhere else, because then you're just going to start over with 7 to 12 touches there. And then you're going to, and so, taking the time to really focus on doing it right. And if you say, oh, this isn't exactly what I want to do, that's okay. But then you should focus all your energy on what it is that you think you should be doing at the time. But you have to give it your all.
Mm-hmm. So besides that, do you also suggest or recommend people doing side or small investments in other opportunities? Like maybe I'm doing a business, I'm making enough money that I could save to invest elsewhere. What do you think would be the best opportunities to do a small investments, or anything that you can recommend along?
Okay, well, definitely it's important to save money. And, with your saved money, you can make investments. But investing can be a business or a job in itself. So you don't want, if your investing isn't your job or your business, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of time focused on what you're investing in. You want to pick things that you don't have to actively manage, and you never want to invest in something you don't understand, because that's where you lose money. But the other side is, a lot of times an investment in your business can be one of the best investments you can make, because you're investing in yourself. And especially if you're looking to get financing or something else, it's better to finance yourself than to get someone else to finance you. So, investment in your business is good. Save some money, put it away somewhere that, it's somewhat safe, so that you have it when you need it. But, unless you're going to have your business be investing, then you don't want to have investments that are going to take away from what your main business is.
Agree. Andrew, give me some like 5 at least or tips for leadership, for better leadership or improvement in existing leadership. So what do you think are the best strategies for a leader to be taking in order to grow and build a successful business or team around?
Okay, well, that's a great question, and something that everybody needs to think about. But also, there's no one answer, because everybody has the ability to be a leader, and demonstrate leadership skills, but depending on your personality and skill, you may do it in a different way. And then also, different environments call for different types of leadership. So someone who's an outstanding leader in one environment could be a terrible leader in another environment. So, one of the most important things you need to do is know yourself. Understand who you are, your personality, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and, how you interact with people. Because leadership is all about, really, it's about influence. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dale Carnegie. He wrote the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and that's really what it's about. I have my clients read that, because how you can't be a great salesperson or a great leader without understanding what he has to share. And so it's about knowing yourself and being able to interact with people in ways that you can influence them and that you can build positive relationships with them. So it makes you more likable, and it makes you more effective at influence people to do what you want them to do, and not in a bad way, but in a good way. And that goes for when you're looking for clients, but also in your internal team. People are going to do a much better job for you if they like you, and they know you, and you have a relationship with them. So that's the first piece, is understanding yourself, understanding how to work with people. They always say that you should do tasks efficiently, but work with people effectively. So meaning, like, when you're doing tasks, you should do them as quickly as you can, and efficiently. But when you're working with people, you got to work with them effectively, because everybody's different. So, you may have to work with one person one way and someone else another way.
Great.
And sometimes to get to where you want to go, the fastest route isn't the direct route with people. You may have to meet them where you are and take a longer route, but you're going to get there faster because you wouldn't have gotten there going the straight route. So, understanding yourself, how to deal with people effectively in that space as well is key. As a leader, you have to lead yourself first. So, I served as a U.S. naval officer. In the military, there's a lot about leadership. I've seen great leaders, I've seen terrible leaders. But one of the things that, all the people that I've really respected as leaders is, they led themselves first. So whatever they asked you to do, they either did or would have been willing to do. They're not asking you to do anything that they wouldn't have done or they wouldn't do. They set the example. So if you want people to be in at 7 a.m. and you don't come in till 8, what kind of leadership are you demonstrating? So, people hear what you say, but follow what you do. So, it's one thing to say stuff, but the strongest thing you say is in what you do. So, being a person of your word, being trustworthy, demonstrating that, you are leading yourself in the same way you're trying to lead them. And then, when I'm working with leaders, I'd say some of the best ones that I've worked with, they just have energy and excitement about what they do. They really like what they do, and it's contagious, because it's great to be around them. You want to see them succeed and succeed with them, because they're doing it for more than just money or whatever. That it's part of them, and it's what they're all about. So you got to be passionate about what you're doing, and you have to care about it. And then of course you got to care about your people. People could tell if you don't care about them. And they don't appreciate that.
Agree.
So.
This is true. So now I'm asking this as a general question besides my own audience and stuff. So for example, I'm a new person. I don't have any job or business. I do have, probably I can manage some cash or capital to invest in a new business. What do you suggest, where to get ideas or inspiration for a new business? It's just, I'm asking a random question, throwing at you. So what do you think, where to get business ideas or inspirations?
Okay. Well, one thing is, you only know what you've been exposed to. So
Right.
something important is to get yourself exposed to as many things as possible. So there's a lot of, YouTube stuff. There's a lot of different people who do webinars, seminars. There's organizations that do free training and development that you can do online, just to learn about what different types of business opportunities there are. And, as you start seeing things, you may see what resonates with you. What do you like? What provides the right type of environment for you? Are you looking for greater flexibility? Are you working to make as much money as you can? What are your personal goals? Because your business is there to benefit you and your life, not the other way around. So you need to set up the best situation to achieve your goals and desires. And there's so many different types of businesses out there that, it's worth looking at things. And, there's nothing wrong with trying some things also. One thing that I've heard and makes sense is a lot of people, they're most successful on their third business. So that means you
Sure.
have to have your first two businesses before you can get to it. So don't take forever to try, but also understand that, the first thing you do isn't necessarily going to be where you end up, but you'll learn things throughout the journey that are going to get you to where you end up. For example, I've worked with business entrepreneurs, business owners full time. I have a degree in mechanical engineering.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I went to, I studied, I was an officer in the Navy. I worked
Oh,
as executive in corporations, and now I have my own business. So it's about the journey. You learn things in one area, you take it to the next area, you take it to the next area, and that's sort of how you progress. But you can't wait till the perfect moment or the perfect thing. You have to go out there and go after what you think makes sense at the time and see where it takes you.
keep trying, keep trying. That's what I recommend people do. So yeah, it's great. So third business, usually you said, becomes a success. So I don't know. This is my not third business, but I think more. For me, it's maybe probably fifth business, or fourth or fifth, I guess.
Right.
But
And
yeah,
that's on
sounds yeah,
okay.
that's
So
on average.
yeah.
So another question, some I would ask, if the third business should be same as the first two businesses, so it should be different.
Well,
So
it like earlier mentioned that even the same business or the same product is a different
that's a
business
mistake,
going
probably.
after a different target market.
Yeah,
So you may be in this business working with these clients, but maybe that's not the right place where you end up. Maybe you're in that same industry, but you're off, like you used to be a seller, now you train. So you're in
yeah,
the same business and industry, but it's really a totally different business that you're doing.
true. Agree,
So
agree.
yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah. So tell me something more about your SB Pro, Small Business Pro University. I mean, what is it? How does it work? How do you help people? So in case anyone decides to contact you or join you, how can we do that?
Okay, great. Well, what working with so many business owners and helping them be more successful, I started to see a lot of the same challenges and the same problems that we solved. So I
Right.
created, wrote my book, Running Your Small Business Like a Pro, as a way to outline those challenges and also give examples of how to overcome them. Going from, starting out, how did I get here? Figuring out how you got where you are, because that's important, and where you want to go, to understanding your most important job as a business owner, because many people have a business but aren't, or spending their time doing the wrong things. To understand what they're afraid of, because many business owners fear numbers, and as a result don't really use analysis to make their business better. And of course, financing, managing people, so it's general about all different areas of things that you need to know about business. And I had a great response to that. A lot of people said, that really helped me understand what to do, or that changed my whole business strategy, or I decided to do a different business because of what I learned, and really took that to the next level, created a workbook, but also created the Small Business Pro University as really a resource for training and developing entrepreneurs based on what I've learned, but also incorporated many other experts in different areas of business into the platform to share their expertise. So it gives you a wide variety of experience, and that's at sbprou.com. And feel free to check that out. We met via LinkedIn, so I'm active on LinkedIn if you want to see, I do active posting and other things. So feel free to, love to connect with you and, get to know a little bit more about you and share what I do through LinkedIn. And then I do the weekly live stream, which is Leadership Live, and talking about with different business experts about how to become better leaders, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you successful.
Brilliant, amazing. Yeah, I would definitely love to join the leadership sessions or webinars. And I think that is all from my side. If you have anything to say about like a message or anything you just want to add to help the people or the audience in order to build or grow better, please feel free to.
Well, first, thanks, Ali, for having me on the show and getting a chance to talk to your audience. And at the end of the day, business is not easy. So, you have to understand that. What one of my friends said to me, which is very appropriate, is, the only place where you find success before work is in the dictionary. So you're going to have to put the work in before you get the success. So, keep at it, stay disciplined, stay focused. And, after about 10 years or however amount of time, then you're going to be an overnight success. And, but you'll learn a lot along the journey. You'll never learn more than if you have your own business. It's very enjoyable. You meet some great people and are able to help a lot of great people. And that's really, a great piece about being in business and how it can positively not just be for money making, but just for, having the life and creating the difference that you want to be.
Of course, brilliant. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate your time today, and you have been a great help in answering these questions. I'm sure I and the audience will definitely learn out of this session or this video. And I hope to connect with you again in the future in order to discuss new topics or questions. And talk to you soon then. Thank you so much.
Okay. Great. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good night.